Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Coffee with Tea. This is my new favorite mug, as you all know, Street Talk, and it has Amazing Tea Street. And what it reads is forever linked together. That Amazing Tea and Street are forever linked together. I love this. This is a gift from my friend, Dr. Cynthia Tyson. And so I love this mug. I'm going to jump in. Today's topic: don't skip the process of fighting from failure. Yep. Don't skip the process of fighting from failure. Now, I'm not talking about the if life knocks you down, get back up and fight again. I'm not talking about that, though that's true. I'm not talking if life knocks you down 99 times, get back up 100. That's fighting from being knocked down. Have you ever not just been down, but actually been out? And people are like, T, until you die, you're not out. There are times in life when you're out, when they have counted you out. It don't mean you knocked out. It just mean the fight is over. This fight is over. That's the perspective. This fight might have been a failure, but I always tell young people, failure is not fatal unless we choose for it to be. So how do you not skip the process of fighting from failure? T, how do you fight from failure? There are 4 F's that I want to give you today. The first one, face failure honestly. The times that I failed, I'm like, yo, I tried that. It did not work. I failed miserably. Have I ever failed? Yes. I have failed personally. I have failed professionally. I have failed emotionally. And if I'm honest, I've failed more times than I care to count spiritually. I have failed. What does one do? You simply face it honestly. You say, this was what I was going for. I didn't reach that goal. Something happened that took me out of this one. I failed. But it's not fatal unless I choose for it to be. Face your failure honestly. Acknowledge it, but don't stay there. Acknowledge it though, because until you can acknowledge a thing, you can't heal and grow from a thing. The second thing, find the lesson in the failure. Find the lesson. Can I tell you, I had a job opportunity in 2009 that I knew I wasn't supposed to take. I took it out of guilt for a friend. I wasn't supposed to take it. My pastor told me, my mama told me, that God said no, but more importantly, God told me no. And I took this job in 2009, and within 9 months, I was leaving. I wasn't fired. I was leaving on my own accord, but I was leaving as a failure. I failed at that task because I wasn't supposed to be there. So, what was the lesson that I learned in that? I learned that when God says no, it's no. I learned that my loyalty to myself and to God is more important than loyalty to people. So, can I tell you, because I learned those two very important lessons in 2009, it wasn't a total loss. People are like, you win or you lose. No, that's for people who don't learn. I win or I learned the lesson. I won because I learned the lesson. Good morning, Stephanie. And so I found the lesson in my failure. My failure wasn't that I couldn't do the job. My failure was that I didn't listen to God. And I was more loyal to someone else than I was to my own self because I knew I wasn't supposed to take that job. The next thing you got to do is you got to fortify yourself. When you have failed and you're fighting back from failure, you have to fortify yourself. One of the ways that I do that is I pray. The other thing that I do is I surround myself with people who are going to help me rise from my failure. If you are a person or if you surround yourself with people who can't or won't help to bring you back from failure, you got the wrong people surrounding you. I fortify myself with God and I fortify myself with people who understand that failure is not fatal unless I choose for it to be. And they're the people who encourage me. But can I tell you, I'm like David in the Psalms. I encourage myself. That's one of the ways that I fortify me. I encourage myself. There's a song that says, sometimes you have to encourage yourself. I surround myself with people who encourage me. I pray. And ultimately, I talk back to myself. I'll be like, girl, you got knocked out on that one. That was a TKO. But guess what? It doesn't have to remain a TKO. Good morning, Ava. You don't have to remain a TKO. You can fight back from failure. not just knocked down. There have been times when I've been knocked out. So the third thing is that you have to fortify yourself. And finally, you got to make the choice to forge ahead. I had to make a choice. I had public disgrace, I had personal disgrace, I had emotional disgrace. Oh my God, when I tell you, I was literally going through it spiritually. I had spiritual disgrace because I knew I wasn't supposed to do that thing. But I made the decision that in spite of it all, I would forge ahead. I would go forward and not backward. I had a choice to make. Forging ahead is a choice. After all of those things, after you faced your failure honestly, after you found the lesson, you fortified yourself, you still have to make the choice that you're going to move ahead. Good morning, Miss Woods. You have to move ahead regardless of what the failure has been. But again, it's a choice. So today I came to tell somebody, don't skip the process of fighting from failure. And if we live long enough, all of us will experience failure. I have experienced more failures, not just being knocked down. There have been some times in life when I've been knocked out. But at the end of the day, I know how to fight back from failure. I have faced my failure honestly. I find the lessons in that failure. I fortify myself both with spiritual prayer, with people who support me, and by encouraging myself. And then I make the choice, and yes, it's a choice, to forge ahead and do the next step differently. I'm the amazing T Street. There's absolutely positively nothing amazing in me. There's not in each and every one of you. So today, don't skip the process of fighting from failure. Have an amazing day.